definitely heard the name Confucius, right? It's practically synonymous with wisdom. But what if I told you the story of the man himself is not at all what you think it is?
I mean, quotes like this one, they feel like they've just always been there, haven't they? For more than 2,000 years, Confucius has been the guy for that kind of timeless, profound wisdom. His words feel like they're etched in stone.
But here's the twist. His ideas absolutely shaped a civilization, no doubt about it. But the story of how we even have those ideas, how we know a single thing he supposedly said, well, that's a massive historical puzzle. And that's the real mystery we're gonna unravel today. All right, so first things first. Let's talk about the man behind the legend. Who was this guy, Confucius? The traditional story paints a picture of a life filled with early hardship, but also, huge ambition. His birth name was actually Kung Chu, born way back in 551 BCE. His family was aristocratic, but they'd fallen on some really hard times. He did manage to land a few small-time government jobs, but what he really wanted was to be the right-hand man to a powerful ruler, to bring order back to a world that felt pretty chaotic. This dream sent him on a crazy 14-year-long exile, just wandering from place to place, looking for any leader who would just listen to him. And the tough part? He never found one. He eventually came back home, seen by most people as a political failure, and just spent his last few years teaching a handful of students who'd stuck with him. And this is what makes him so real. During that long, tough exile, he was a million miles away from the wise old sage we picture. There's this incredible story where someone saw him looking totally lost and alone and said he looked like a stray dog. Just think about that. This wasn't some celebrated icon. This was a guy who was just desperately trying to matter. And yet, out of what looks like a total failure came a philosophy that would literally define a civilization. So what were these big ideas that came from the ashes of his political dreams? Okay, so at the absolute core of everything he taught is this one idea, Ren. Now, it gets translated as humanity or benevolence, but a better way to think about it is like a deep, active compassion for other people. And the simplest way he put it is his take on the golden rule. What you do not wish for yourself, do not do to others. Simple, but so powerful. So Ren is like the foundation, and built on top of it are the 5 key virtues that everyone, especially leaders, needs to work on. You've got humanity, which is Ren itself, then righteousness, good conduct, knowledge, and trustworthiness. And for Confucius, these weren't just, nice words. They were the actual building blocks you needed to create a good person and a good society. So you're probably asking, okay, but how does this work in the real world? Well, Confucius broke it all down into 5 basic relationships that make up all of society. And this is where his genius really shines. Yeah, it's a hierarchy, for sure. But, and this is the key, it's all about mutual responsibility. A ruler has to be good to his subjects to get their loyalty. A father has to be kind to his son to earn that filial piety. Everybody has a specific role, and with that role come duties to the people both above and below you. And the end game? The whole point of all this? It's to create what he called the Gen Z, which basically means the superior person or gentleman. This is someone who is so morally good that they lead just by being a good example. They don't need force or threats. They govern with something called D, which is like this powerful magnetic moral authority that just inspires everyone around them to do the right thing. If you have that, you don't even need harsh laws. It's a really beautiful idea, right? But this is where we hit that central mystery I mentioned. Confucius himself, he never wrote a single thing down. So how on earth do we have all these quotes, all these detailed teachings? I mean, seriously, if the guy never put pen to paper or, brush to bamboo, where did all this stuff come from? Well, the answer comes down to one book, and pretty much only one book, the Lunyu. In the West, we call it the Analects. And it's basically a collection of his sayings and little conversations between him and his students. Seems pretty straightforward, right? But here it is, the million-dollar question that historians have been debating for centuries. Who really wrote it? Okay, so the traditional story, the one you usually hear, is that his students scribbled it all down right after he died, trying to preserve his exact words. But modern scholars, they paint a way more complicated picture. The current thinking is that the Analects is what's called an accretion text. That's a fancy way of saying it wasn't written in one go. Instead, it was compiled, edited, and even added to over centuries. It probably didn't get its final form until 300 or 400 years after Confucius was even gone. And get this, the clues are hiding in plain sight, right there in the book itself. For starters, the title Lun Yu literally means selected sayings. That right there suggests it was put together long after he was already super famous. Famous enough that you'd be selecting his best hits, right? Also, the book just states his ideas as facts. It doesn't argue for them. That's a classic move when you're trying to turn a person into a legend. And at the end of the day, we just have to realize that our modern idea of what an author is, it just didn't exist back then. The jobs of compiler, editor, and author were all kind of mixed together. So, does that mean the whole thing is fake? Not at all. It just shifts the story. This isn't just about a man anymore. It's about how an idea became immortal.
Because here's the thing that really matters. It almost doesn't matter if every single word in the Analects was spoken by him personally. The philosophy that was attributed to him, that set of ideas became one of the most world-shaping forces in all of human history.
I mean, think about the impact. These ideas became the official philosophy of the entire Chinese state. For almost 2,000 years, if you wanted a government job, you had to pass an exam based on this book. An entire empire's government was built on it, and its influence spread, deeply shaping the cultures of China, Korea, Japan, and Vietnam for centuries on end. And this wasn't something that happened recently. Just a little over 100 years after he died, the famous philosopher Mencius said, "Ever since man came into this world, there has never been one greater than Confucius." The stray dog was already a legend. The idea of Confucius had become way more powerful than the actual man ever was in his own lifetime. So that leaves us with this final big question to chew on. When we look back at history, what really defines a person? Is it the nitty-gritty details of who they actually were, or is it the incredible, lasting power of what they came to represent? In the case of Confucius, the mystery surrounding his words doesn't weaken his story. If anything, it just makes his incredible legacy shine even brighter.